Good morning, Tahmina Khan is here in TKMaths is Fun. In today's video, we will see the concept of transformation of a graph. I have made more videos on this topic and you will find the link in the description below. So in this video, we will focus on translation, but in every video, I will explain all the types of transformations so that you can remember by heart by the time you finish watching all these videos. So first one is about horizontal translation, which is represented by f of x plus 1, and if it is f of x plus a, it is vertical translation. I will explain this in this video, right? So this is about translation, and the main function is what? Main function is f of x. That will be given to you either in the form of equation or in the form of sketch. Then we are talking about reflection, and reflection is in the x-axis or y-axis. If it is minus f of x, it is reflection in the x-axis, and if it is f of minus x, it is reflection in the y-axis. We will see this explanation in the next video, and you will find the link in the description. Then comes a stretch. In a stretch, if it is written a of f of x like this, then it means it is a stretch along the y direction, and you have to multiply all the y values by a, and you have to keep the x values same of the coordinates. This is one way to remember it. And the last one is if it is written f of a of x, right? A of x, then it means it will be stretched along this x-axis in the x direction, and you will do what? You will divide all x values by a, whatever the number given to you here. Or it is said the scale factor is 1 over a. It means you will multiply x coordinate of the point, this is the x coordinate, you will multiply it by 1 over a. It is same as dividing x by a, right? Mathematical language. So let's start with translation. So basically, first of all, you should be able to express it to yourself, right? Whatever you are learning, you should be able to express it properly. So translation is the graph of a function, which is by moving it horizontally or vertically, you translate it. So this transformation is called translation, and it is represented by f of x plus a or f of x plus a. F of x will be your graph. So now I will show you in this sketch so that you can make a good understanding of it. So suppose this is the sketch given to you, right? Equation is not given here, sketch is given to you here. Okay, so if question says you have to move this f of x plus something, a number, for example here, x plus 3, it means you will move it horizontally 3 units to the left. X plus 3 mean moving graph 3 units to the left. If it is x minus 3, same graph, then you will move it 3 units to the right. Okay? And if it is f of x plus 3, then you will move the graph 3 units up. You can see it was 0 here in this graph. The minimum value was 0. Now in this graph, the minimum value is 3, right? So if it is saying f of x minus 3, then you will move the graph 3 units down. Then the graph will be something like this, okay? And it will pass through minus 3. And in this case, if you have to do f of x minus 3, then suppose 3 is here, then graph will move 3 units to the right, the original graph. This is our original graph. Okay, this is the meaning of translation. So you have to learn this and practice this. Now let's see here, a question is given to you, right? Okay, so two equations are given. I have taken f of x equals to x cube, and the other one is f of g of x is equals to 1 over x. So I have taken two types of graph. Now suppose the question is saying sketch the graph of the following functions and show the cuts through the x-axis wherever it is required. That I will explain to you. And state the equation of asymptote. Now you need to understand what is the meaning of asymptote. Asymptote is that horizontal vertical line. We are not talking about slant line at this level in A level maths. We are only talking about horizontal and vertical asymptotes, right? So asymptote is that line towards which the graph is trying to approach, but it never touches it. So we will tell that equation also in it. So let's see. First of all, f of x equals to x cube. Now it's a cubic curve, and this is the shape of the cubic curve, right? Just x cube. It will pass through the origin here. You can see 0. Let me select the pen here. It is passing through 0 here. So if you have to show the graph of f of x minus 2, sorry, cube here, right? So what will you do? X cube you have already drawn because it is easy. So in x minus 2, what will you do? We have just learned we will move it 2 units to the right. What does it mean? Let me show you sketch first. So the same graph, but it will move 2 units to the right. Earlier it was cutting here in the first sketch, passing through the origin. So now it is moving 2 units to the right. So this is the point you will show in your sketch, and that's all. That will show your clear understanding. And if question says describe it, write in the vector form, then you can say translate the graph 2 units to the right so that it cuts the x-axis at 2, and in vector form you will write it 2, 0 in the column vector. So the different forms depend what is the question asking. Let's see the second example. G of x equals to 1 over x. Now these basic graphs you should know. In O level you have learned 6 type of sketches, right? So you can see the video of that also. I have given the link below in the description if you don't remember. So at AS level or A level, it is understood that these are prerequisites. Okay. So once you know the sketch of 1 over x, which is here, you have drawn it. Now question is saying sketch the graph of g of x minus 2. Here, you can see here, this one. Graph of g of x minus 2. So we already know from translation that we will move this graph 2 units down, right? So if I sketch it here, the important thing is earlier my x-axis, here, this line, right? X-axis was my asymptote because this graph is trying to approach to this line, but it will never touch it, right? It will never touch it. Now when the graph is moving 2 units down, everything will move 2 units down, and you will get this graph. You will get this graph. So everything is same, but now your asymptote is line. What is the equation of this line? Y is equals to 2. This is your asymptote. And in this earlier case, it was y is equals to 0. Because we know horizontal line have equation y equals to 0 and y equals to 2 here. So these are my asymptote. And if you have to describe in words, how will you describe in words? You will say translate the graph. How many units down? 2 units down. And asymptote is y is equals to 2. And in vector form, you will write 0 minus 2. So this is how you write in the vector form. This is how you sketch it. And you have to express it. What is the equation of the asymptote, right? Y is equals to 0 and y equals to 2. I hope you understood this one. Okay. Now let's see this question. These are past paper questions of different boards. You have to sketch the graph of f of x. And what is the equation of f of x? X plus 1 and x minus 3, right? So we know that it is a quadratic equation, and x plus 1, x minus 3 simply means the curve will pass through x-axis at minus 1 and 3. Agreed? And you know the shape of the curve already. It is parabola. So you can easily sketch it. Now if you notice in this graph, something is very important I have done. I have mentioned the y-intercept also. How did I get this y-intercept? Again, you know, if it is given in the factorized form and you multiply these constants, minus 3 multiplied by 1, which is minus 3, that will give you y-intercept. So I have highlighted only 3 points here, minus 1, 3 and minus 3. Now in the first part of the curve, question is saying sketch f of x plus 1. What will you do? What comes in your mind? Yes, you are right. You will move it 1 unit up, right? So I have done the sketch here for you. You can see here. Now what is happening? Am I highlighting these points? No, because the purpose is not to solve this and to find the roots. These are roots of the equation. But what I can highlight here very important is this point. And why is it so? Because it was minus 3 here. When it will go 1 unit up, it will pass through minus 2. But these points will be somewhere here. So that's why we are not mentioning it, because we are not solving it. And through movement, through moving it up, you cannot figure it out. So in a sketch, you are only highlighting what you can easily mention here. Okay, the next part of the question is saying, second part, x plus 3. What does it mean? It means, let me clean this area. I like clean surface here. Okay, so now this second part means you have to move the graph. Yes, hurry up. Yes, you are right. You have to move the graph 3 units left. The same graph, this graph. If I move 3 unit left, what will happen? Then it will be easy to highlight this point. Agreed? Let's see here. It is coming 0 and minus 4. What it was here earlier? 3. It was 3 and it was minus 2. So it will go 3 units left. It will come on minus what? Minus 4. Oh, sorry, it was minus 1. I'm sorry. It was minus 1. So it will move 3 units left. It will go on minus 4. And this is on 3. It will move 3 units left. It will go on 0. And this is what we are highlighting here. You can see here. Minus 4 and 0. Agreed. Third part of the question. Y is equals to f of x minus 1. Now what will you do? You know, f means the original function. And what was our original function? Original function was this one. So keep in your mind this function. This is sketch all the time. Okay. So you have to keep in mind this is sketch. All the translation is happening on it. So now I have to do f of x minus 1. So this graph will you move 1 unit right. So 3 will come on 4. Minus 1 will come on 0. Agreed. So let's see here. So this is how you do translation. In the next video, I will explain reflection. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please press subscribe and like button to encourage me. Take care. Allah Hafiz.